Ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy and so lucky, in fact, because we did not expect the Indian Nationals cubing championships are going to happen in Chennai. Yes, definitely, you heard that right. And we are very lucky to have Mr. Aryan Chhabra here, who is India's fastest cuber. And would you like to tell us more about it? How do you feel holding that title? It's not a small deal, and that's it.
I would say I'm grateful because I put in the hard work, I put in the hard hours to get that record. And, after the 8 years of QA competing in competitions, holding that title, I hold it with great pride. And I hope that, I can keep it for a bit longer. Since life is happening, I am not giving as much, but I still hope to keep it for.
To what extent has the attention, varied in terms of when you were not holding the title as compared now to do, you have the title.
Yeah, and definitely, it's a huge change. So initially when I started queuing, right, in the first year, no one knew about me because I was not as fast. But then I was approaching the record. I was at around 8 seconds and the record was like lower 8. So people started knowing about me, okay, this guy was a potential for the record. So I was like, okay, I'll try my best. And in 2017, I got my first record. I would think my first record was the one that got me a little bit of faith. But in 2019, in SNU Auto Open 2019, I got the fastest Indian time with the 4.91 seconds song, which was the first sub-5 seconds all over India. And that's where people started doing, okay, yeah, this guy is crazy. Because at the time, it was 21st in the whole world. Okay. The first fastest song in the world.
Did you say 21st?
21st.
Like the first fastest. So as you can imagine, he was very much emphasizing on the 0.91, 4.91, because in the world of cubic, the tenths of second, the numbers after the decimal are also very critical. Can you kind of give that context from international level point of view or from Indian level point of view?
Sure. So I would say, see, like you said, every second matters in cubic. So in the World Championships that happened in 2023 this year in South Korea, I think the top 3 positions were off by a few decimals a wheel. 5-second averages, but one were like a little bit, slower compared to the other. And those were the top 3 solvers of the whole world. And in India also, I think you can see that with the nationals coming up tomorrow, you will see a lot of people getting very fast and close out, and it will be nerve-wracking to see the 5 years in 3 by 3 and the see outcomes.
Just so you know, I think I've already mentioned this, but Mr. Aryan will be participating in the Indian Nationals happening in the Naval Community Hall. So if you didn't know about this, now you know. You can always register if you want to participate in it, but you can also come as a spectator. And, we have about 90 to 100 participants over there. But let me somehow just change the topic for now. First of all, is this your first time on Chennai?
Yeah, it is.
And can you tell us more about what's your experience so far?
So I landed in Guwahati yesterday and then I came by car to Shillong. I think the overall view and the weather is absolutely amazing. I love winters, so this is like perfect for me. And the hotel I'm staying in has a very nice view. So absolutely loving my stay here and more to come.
What was your perception about Shillong before you even dreamed of coming there?
So I had a small idea of how it is. It's cold here, it's very peaceful. And once I got to come in, I know how good it is compared to Delhi. That is where I stayed. So yeah, I prefer this place over my but yeah.
Anyways, people from all over the world, whoever will be watching this, just know that the interest in the queuing world in India is still gathering its pace. And I think Mr. Aryan here would be the right person to kind of talk more about it. To what extent as the Indian youth, I would not even say youth, I mean across all ages, especially the younger ones.
Right.
You're very much interested in this. Right. How has that transcend from time to time?
Right. So I started in 2015. At the time, it was a very small community. Every competition you go to, you see similar faces. Almost everyone you will know about. But by the time it was 2019, we were starting to see more traction in Cubing. But the main, boost in Cubing was happening during the COVID time. So in 2022, when the lockdown period was there, every parent that I knew of, like around my society and everywhere, they contacted me and asked me to help them solve a cube for their children and teach them as well. So that's where I think a lot of people gain that, cubing is a good thing. because at home everyone is using their phones, getting bored, wasting time. The parents were like, okay, let's get our kids to do something nice and productive. And cubing was one of their first choices, which was very surprising at the time.
Okay. We're glad to know that it's kind of rising as the years come by, especially with the nationals happening here as well. I think with social media and all, more exposure is also happening. Definitely. So, for example, a FIFA World Cup or a cricket World Cup, it happen every 4 years. Does this happen in the world of cubing as well? Or is there a particular timeline that a World Cup is happening for cubing?
So the World Championships, just like cricket and football, happen every 4 years. But the Nationals happens every year. Yeah, in the US, in India, everywhere else, I think Nationals are held yearly, whereas World Championships are held every 4 years.
Okay, interesting. So there is scope for more or less make it a career choice?
I would say it is a yes and a no both. Depends. So if you are at the top level of the game, there are multiple ways to, earn from cubing. So right now I have a coach, swing cubing coach. I've been coaching since 2021. So all through that I have sponsors, getting me stuff as well. And you guys brought me here along avenues, so thank you to them. So small stuff like this, cubing has helped me with it. But I think in the long run, if you were to ask me, I don't think it can be a sustainable job. It can be something that you have for a little bit of time. It's a phase, but it's very hard to sustain and make a living out of it.
For us, mostly adults, especially if someone hasn't time, I think it's important to realize that I'm sure it develops the critical thinking ability of a child as well. For example, we have chess. Yeah. So if you ask me personally, I think chess is more like an older game to the cubing, right?
Right.
But do you think that that's the mental capacity of of somebody who's engaged with that? Is it similar in nature?
It is. I would say it is, because when you're solving a Rubik's Cube, there are two ways to go about it. First thing is intuitiveness, how you can think and how you can solve on your own. Second part is algorithm. So you combine both things, and pattern recognition, everything comes into play. And the focus that you have to put into cubing, because you have to think about different solutions, different situations can come up. You know how to tackle them, but every time something new will come up.
Be fast.
Yeah, but be fast, and I think you can relate it to life. There'll be always something new and challenging coming your way. You have to find your ways to solve.
See, most parents would want their kids to touch the Rubik's Cube rather than touching their mobile phones or tabs, especially in this generation now. We really see the advantage of this. With that being said, in terms of, does the quality of the cube affects the performance of or is it a rule that you could take your own cube to a competition?
So in the World Cubing Association operations, you have to take your own cubes. But yes, the quality of the cubes matter a lot. Luckily, in 2023, every cube you buy is going to be good. So there is no bad cube out there. It's just, different feelings of the cube, different settings that you can put the cube on, which will completely change according to your preference. Apart from that, cubing hardware has come a long way.
Is there a protocol check before the competition, like a person comes and check and, verify all the cubes that they're not been tampered with and all that? Does that happen?
It doesn't happen, but there are specific rules that, like the volunteers can check while scrambling the cube. Let's say I've submitted my cube and I'm waiting for my turn. So the scrambler can, still see the cube if there is a dent or if it fits. So basically there's a rule in cubing, if it's a specific dent, which is, you can see separately, then it's an illegal cube because that can give you an violation. So that is why some rules are there, but there is no specific checking, pre-checking that is being done before the game begins.
Very interesting, because this is all something very new for me. I'm not a cuber myself. Actually, I've tried to solve many, but I've not been able to. I just give up very easily. The nationals is happening from the 15, 16, 17, and today we're just lucky that Mr. Aryan is here, but also we were luckier because he was able to interact with some of our students here at Avenues. So as you know, Avenues is also holding its winter workshops that happens every year. If you're a parent that's still interested in enrolling your kids to this workshop, you can always do that. And I'm sure you can see the scan code everywhere, and you can log into our website and you can always enroll your kids. With that being said, how was your experience with the kids today? You engage with them.
Oh yeah, I think it was amazing. First thing I noticed, the energy of the kids here. everyone was keen and interested, and they were trying to solve the problems I was asking them to. Plus, I hope a few kids develop a genuine interest for cubing. We learned the first step of solving the cube today, and I think it was very fun. Everyone was interacting, asking for help, figuring out things. Stuff like that makes me happy because I'm a cubist, and seeing people and kids get excited for the same thing, amazing time.
Interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, critical thinking is very important in what a cube. Has that kind of given you an extra advantage for your math and science, especially when it comes to your subjects in school?
I would say it doesn't really necessarily help you in thinking in a specific way, but what you start doing is being patient. Let's say you're solving a mathematical problem. I have had 4 semesters back to back applied mathematics. So while solving, you learn not to get frustrated. You learn to think out of the box. And that is what I think helped me really through my engineering life. So, you think about different perspectives, how you can solve a different problem in a different way. That is what cubing has taught me.
You heard some words over there: pattern, out of the box, perspective, patience. These are some of the values we at Outnews also emphasize a lot when we deal with these workshops. And, we have very limited time, so we might have to wrap this up. But before we do that, can you tell us more about yourself? What was you as a child, and when to start this, and how many years has it been so far?
Right. So I used to play football when I was a kid. I was going to an academy, and I got an injury when I was, I think, 11 or 12. And during that injury, I was not able to play football. It was very heartbreaking. But during that time only, I found out cubing. This was I think 12, around 12, because that is when I started cubing as well. I don't remember the exact timeline, but when I was injured, I was still going to school, and then I found out one of my friends was solving one side of the Rubik's Cube, not even the whole cube. So I was like, okay, I want to learn the whole thing, flex in front of the class. So I learned it, and it was an instant addiction. And from there, I think my energy towards football, it translated to cubing.
So from football to cubing.
Yeah.
What's your age right now, Aryan?
I'm 21.
21. So you started at 12, now it's 21. So probably about 9 years. So in 9 years to become the top cuber of India, that's quite an amazing achievement. Another question, like if somebody has to start from zero, for how many years do you think can that person compete competitively?
Right. So I think there is no specific number they should be focusing on to compete. I think they can compete right after they learn how to solve the cube. Plus, I think today the cubing hard so much that everyone can get fast very quickly. So I started in 2015. It took me 3-4 years to get very good. I think today in 1 year anyone can get close to world class time with the right resources and cubing hardware. And anyone can participate in the competition no matter what their speed is.
I think for cubers, buying a cube is not an expensive affair, right? You have to buy a very expensive golf club if you have to play golf, for shoes or cards, right? But for cube, you just need, so on an average, what's the cost of the cube? Make I'm not talking about the highest quality ones. It's going to be the work that people can afford, at least here.
There are cubes as low as rupees 500, which are decent. But I would say if you want a mediocre Rubik's Cube, which will work for faster cubers also, at around 800, you can find it.
Yeah, and I think for that you have a very good website known as Cube Lego. So they do online deliveries as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a popular site in India where people can buy Rubik's Cube and other forms of cube, because this is a 3x3, there are 5x5, 4x4, and 2x2. And what are those terms? With pyramid, cube. So it's kind of very interesting word out there. And it's new for me that I'm struggling with some of these terms. Anyways, last but not the least, I think it's one of those rare competitions that, is happening because the doctor of Aryan is also very much involved in this.
Yeah.
So what would you like to say about that? Because you've traveled across the world or maybe different states. To what extent is the government involved in these matters?
So normally there is no government involved in organizing these competitions. But I think it's good to see them being involved because I think it takes you into the next level. It means that it is being recognized by someone important and is getting a stage where, people can represent their talent. Like me and other cubers who have been cubing for so many years, they have a stage of where they can represent what they've been doing. It's absolutely beautiful to have it in it.
It's always a big deal when the government is involved because it gives importance, number one.
Exactly.
And I think government also has a better network of spreading the word as well. And it also shows that the government is also giving importance to somewhat other things than cricket or football. So we'd like to thank the Department of Sports and Youth Affairs and the government of Meghalaya for being involved in this program. And the department has been very kind to support the Indian National Cubic Championships. Anything for the government? Any thanks to being aware of?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here in this special competition and special place. I think this will be a once in a lifetime experience. Looking forward to it. Very excited.
We wish Mr. Aryan the very best, and of course all the other competitors as well. One more your nerves now, thinking about other people.
This time I'm trying to focus on myself. Usually I do focus on what other people are getting, but this time my focus is on myself. If I do well, I'll be happy. Otherwise, it's fine.
Like we always say, always compete against yourself. Eventually you'll anyways grow. With that being said, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time, Mr. Aryan, and spending time with the kids because, well-being, values, somehow are very much connected to this little thing over here known as the Lux Cube. That's all from all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.